Welcome to Dateline Polk with news about your county government. I'm your host, Tanya Tucker. Today you will learn about County Commission actions from the April 18th board meeting. The board approved an increase in the county's user fees for the use of its public safety radio system. The system had been funded in the past by moving traffic violations, but those revenues have decreased by 50% over the past decade. In 2013, the board approved the fee structure to provide an additional funding source. The county's radio system provides communication services to county, city, and state agencies. The fee increase approved Tuesday is estimated to generate an additional $477,000 in the 2017-2018 fiscal year. A consultant authorization agreement to develop a formalized long-term assessment management program for the county's utilities infrastructure was approved by the board Tuesday. The agreement with Hazen and Sawyer PC was approved for a total cost of nearly $150,000.
The Commission approved the consultant agreement with Hazen and Sawyer for not to exceed $149,000. This agreement is to provide engineering services in support of developing an asset management program that's more formalized for Polk County utilities.
A simplified building division fee schedule was approved by the board Tuesday. The new schedule will streamline the calculation of commercial building permit fees, which had been recommended in the 2014 Efficiency Commission report. The fees, which are for commercial, electrical, and gas permits, will be based on the contract value of the work and make up about 5% of the total permits issued and 3% of total permit revenue. Currently, the fees are based on the number of components such as electrical outlets, receptacle switches, plumbing fixtures, or gas outlets. The change will also allow for the addition of a fee calculator to help online customers when permitting software is implemented on the county's website later this year. Work will begin right away on the first phase of Lake Gwynn Park following the board's approval of nearly $1.7 million construction contract with West Construction, Inc. The park will be developed over the next few years based on funding availability. The first phase of the project will include roadway construction, drainage, trail and sidewalk construction, fencing, irrigation, landscaping, water services, temporary septic systems, and general site work.
This morning, the Board of County Commissioners, they approved a contract with West Construction Incorporated to build the first phase of our Lake Gwynn Park. Lake Gwynn Park is located in the community of Juanita, and the first phase will include the infrastructure for the park. Under separate contract, we've already approved a playground program and also restrooms for the facility, so we're real excited that this fall will open in the first phase of Lake Gwynn Park.
In other news, the board approved a settlement with two people for a total of $60,000. The settlement stems from an accident that involved a Polk County ambulance in 2015 along State Road 60 and Wilson Road. A lease and services agreement with Ultimate Fitness Center, Inc. was approved by the board to operate the Polk County Fitness Center. The fitness center is used by county employees. David Sorg, the board chair of the Polk County Development Workforce Board, provided the board a semi-annual report on the status of the organization.
I had a wonderful opportunity to meet with the Board of County Commissioners to give the semi-annual report from the career source of Polk. It's all their fiscal responsibility and their audits and their funding when what they're overseeing what we're doing. I'm glad to report there's no findings whatsoever with that, but also I'm glad to report that they're making a difference in the community by bringing their services back in-house. They were formerly contracted out, and we've seen so many efficiencies with that process. Some of those efficiencies actually getting the students to work with their summer youth employment program. We have 150 out-of-school youth, which are very difficult to connect with and get them back on the right track. And we have over 100 students that are actually trying to get summer employment that we're placing in that. In addition to that, we have over 47,000 people that we've actually tried and we've been contacted with to give them employment help, to get them the skills needed, get them connected with the different educational systems that are out there and the employers so they can get back to work.
The board had several longtime employees recognized for their service Tuesday, who included Colin Fredericks, who is a deputy chief for the Polk Fire Rescue, was recognized for 20 years of service. Tim Gibson, who worked as a fiscal manager for Parks and Natural Resources Division, was recognized for 20 years of service. Sean Stewart, who is the captain with the Polk County Fire Rescue, was recognized for 20 years of service. Sue Chitto, who works for Utilities Development Specialist, was recognized for 30 years of service. Diane Panabaker, who is the Administrative Supervisor for the County Manager's Office, was recognized for 30 years of service. It was proclaimed April 22, 2017 as Earth Day in Polk County. Bill Graff, who represented South Florida Water Management District, accepted the proclamation.
Today I had the honor of receiving this proclamation from the Polk County Commission. Commissioner Lindsay presented it. It is marking the 47th Earth Day, the first one in April 1970, and my comments to the Commission was, you know, in my mind, that sets a landmark in time, that first Earth Day in April of 1970. Before that, we did some things environmentally that may not have been that environmentally friendly. And after that, we got the EPA, we got the water management districts, we got the Department of Environmental Protection, a whole slew of things that try to honor the processes and the methods that Mother Nature set forth. A lot of things that just work out much better if you do the way it was naturally designed. As a kid, I remember, you know, rivers being on fire, smog, and, you know, some very crazy things going on with our waterways. So since then, fortunately, we've seen the wisdom of protecting our environment, and Earth Day celebrates that. And in my mind, the first Earth Day sets that landmark in time of when we had the more positive perspective on how to treat our environment. And with that, thank you very much, and thank you to the Commission.
It was proclaimed April 2017 as Parental Alienation Awareness Month in Polk County. Danica Fields, who represented Kids Need Both Inc., accepted the proclamation.
Well, Kids Need Both is an organization whose mission is to educate those who are impacted by high conflict families. We are an educational organization, and we are a state-approved provider for the co-parenting program for the state of Florida. And we are partnered with the United Way and have 4 locations across Central Florida that where we educate parents who are going through divorce. We also have a domestic violence, anger management, substance abuse education program. And we're here today to accept a proclamation as with partnership with Parental Alienation Awareness Organization USA. We are deeming April to be Parental Alienation Awareness Month, and our goal is to get the word out of the importance that children need both parents. That's why our organization is called Kids Need Both. And that's why I'm wearing purple today. Today is the month of April. We wear purple because pink and blue mixed together make purple. And so that's our mission, is to bring awareness to families of the real damaging effects that they have on their child by disparaging the other parent.
It was proclaimed April 2017 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Polk County. Kathy Southern, who represented Heartland for Children, accepted the proclamation.
We're here today to proclaim April as Child Abuse Prevention Month and recognize a national campaign that focuses on a blue and silver pinwheel that reminds us of the happy and healthy childhoods that all children deserve. The focus is on supporting parents on their parenting journey, and that we each have a role to play in making sure that children grow up in safe and nurturing environments.
The board also reappointed Robert Lynch, Julie Farish, Hattie Wilson, and Diane Hillard to the Housing and Neighborhood Development Office's Affordable Housing Advisory Committee. Their terms will end December 31st of 2019. During Tuesday's regular meeting, the board took a brief recess to convene as the Eloise Community Redevelopment Agency to approve several business items, which included: the board approved the Eloise Community Redevelopment Agency minutes from the July 8, 2014 meeting. Eugenia Barton also was appointed as the CRA Advisory Committee for a 3-year term that ends April 2020. In a retroactive action, the board approved the appointment of Larry Powell and John Fleming to the Eloise CRA Advisory Committee. In public hearings, during the afternoon session, the board held several public hearings on a variety of items. Those items up for consideration included: the board adopted a large-scale comprehensive plan amendment to change the future land use on Colt Creek State Park from agricultural residential rural to recreation and open space in the rural development area. Representatives from the park who spoke Tuesday said they wanted to add an RV camping area to the park, which will include electrical and water hookups along with a dumping station. In a 4-to-1 vote on both items, the board adopted a large-scale comprehensive plan amendment and text amendment to the Land Development Code Appendix E. The amendment changed the future land use on 71 acres of the Maddox Ranch in North Lakeland from residential low to leisure recreation. The text amendment placed certain restrictions on the property's new land use designation. The board voted to adopt several actions on 82 acres north of Davenport. The first item was an approval of a large-scale comprehensive plan amendment to change the future land use from Business Park Center to residential low. In other action, the board approved a text amendment to the Land Development Code to add standards and conditions to the Land Development Code. And in its third action, the sub-district changed from residential low 1 to residential low 4 in the Ronald Reagan SAP was approved. The board adopted a large-scale comprehensive plan amendment to change the future land use map designation on 73-acre development near River Ranch from development of regional impact to agricultural residential rural. The first of 2 hearings about imposing a temporary moratorium on the acceptance and processing of certain applications related to soil manufacturing facilities was held by the board Tuesday. No action was taken during this hearing. Well, that wraps it up for this edition of Dateline Polk. To keep current with programs and progress in the county, visit us online at polk-county.net or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We encourage you to join us at the next scheduled board meeting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, May 2nd. I'm Tanya Tucker. Thank you for watching.